Okay, the purpose of this video is to show infrastructure failure. You are looking at a telephone pole that was placed in 1962 or 1963. And they used to have dates on them until I brought that to Dirty Duke's attention, and they went around the neighborhood and removed everybody's little labels or little metal tags like that that gave the date of the poles. Now, I don't know what all this bracing and everything is, but check that out, people. That old pole. This is your core, folks, of Greensboro. Now check this pole out. Can we see the lean on it? That's amazing to me. It really is. How they can get away with this stuff. We want to know why we are having outages all over Greensboro when all you nice people sitting in those underground utilities, communities, go look around your outskirts and at your older neighborhoods. Well, look at that pole. Now, we have been complaining for 10 years about this pole. And it all started 3 years ago when the last pole was knocked over by a gentleman's tree that fell on it. Now I'm going to show you what can be done. At the end of the property right there that you're looking at happens to be a big underground setup. Now what's above the poles is really dead lines. Dirty Duke sent us a contract, which is basically a right-of-way and another form of an easement that they were getting ready to jump on. We didn't sign it for $1, saying that if I signed the paper, they would come out here then and remove all the dead stuff from our property. But if we didn't sign it, we're stuck with their dead stuff. Isn't that a kicker? Dirty Duke has no bosses. The big pole that we're coming to with the transformer, that transformer has blown so many times. I think that feeds my home. And the wind is blowing, and I think this is going to be kind of shaky. But infrastructure failure. Dirty Duke's core is rotten. And we live right beside of North Hills. And check that out. No lines. And then you go boom. And that's where North Hills core comes to. Our property. 5,000 plus homes. Their system runs under the ground. It's called a trident. It's a 3-prong system. And supposedly it's supposed to be 4 foot under the ground. When the city came out and put in my storm drain a year and a half ago, they went down 4 foot and never touched it. They brought LiDAR out here to do a test. It was well below 6 foot underground. That is a 1962 telephone pole. You can spot the old poles because they still have signs of the tar resin that they used on them at the time. Infrastructure failure. Their core is rotten all around Greensboro. And this new loop is not going to hold up. it is pulling, every bit of that new work is pulling on this old grid. Now on these poles, somewhere you will find the resin of the tar that was used back then on these poles. That is a good indication. I hope it's showing up. Of what they used to use to coat the poles. Now, that pole there, I mean, I'm not an expert. And I can see this pole's got problems. And there's your old tar at the base. And I think a woodpecker's been on it. That's very helpful. I will post more in a minute.